tuned in to the Iceman Show. I'm your host, the Iceman. More bounce to the ounce than I say what counts. Don't no one go home till the fat man gets it in. What's happening, chocolate people? What's popping with you? Decided to do a quick broadcast. We're only going to be on for a little bit. This is kind of a precursor show. But I saw what happened today with the confirmation vote. Excuse me, with Supreme Court nominee Judge Brett Kavanaugh. And I wanted to chop it up with y'all about the implications of him getting confirmed. He's going to get his final confirmation. Believe that. Because today was just a trial run to kind of show people that this is going on. It's on and popping. It's on like Donkey Kong. And anything beside it, on top of it, underneath it, you can just pretty much know that it's going forward and there's nothing you can do about it. So I'm going to expound on that tonight. Thank you for joining the Iceman Show. Make sure you keep it locked here tomorrow here on the Facebook Live and the YouTube Live simulcast of the Iceman Show. First podcast of its time. Y'all know the name. The Players Circle. That's right. A place where players can chop it up. Ladies and gentlemen, players and playettes. We're going to talk sex, relationship, marriage, all points in between. It's going to be a light show. It's not going to be as serious as what I do with the Iceman Show. We're going to talk about relationships and sex, all that good stuff. How it affects men, how it affects women. This is not we're not going to bash men. We're not going to bash women. We're going to chop it up, and we're going to get some good game discussed here on the Players Circle on the Iceman Show. And that's how we're going to do it. That's how it is, and that's how it's going to be. Yeah, digs. If you're just tuning in, I don't know if you guys have had a chance to walk by or sit in front of a television set, but I don't know if you guys know it or not, but the Senate did what is called you can call a preliminary vote. I think it's more of a procedural vote to kind of get an idea of getting this guy confirmed. I believe you only have to have 50 senators to vote yes to get this guy confirmed. So they did a procedural vote today, and I believe it was 51-49 or something like that. So he's pretty much, all they got to do is do a final vote. So he's pretty much in. Right now, he's in. To the dismay of plenty feminists in this country, as displayed with the ridiculous protests that are going on around the country. Again, I think, ladies and gentlemen, the woke black men and women know that, or they have an understanding of how power works. Absolute power, absolutely. I understand that more than anybody because I used to be in the military. I don't know if you guys remember a Clint Eastwood movie that he did back in I think he did this movie back in the 90s, 96 or 97. Very good movie. And it had Gene Hackman in it. And Gene Hackman played the president. And Clint Eastwood played a cat burglar. And the movie was called Absolute Power. And when I saw Gene Hackman and Clint Eastwood was going to be, well, more so Gene Hackman, because Gene Hackman was hot back then. I was like, oh, I got to see this. So me and my ex-wife went to go see it. It was a very good movie. And then I bought the VHS tape, which later on I sold it to a pawn shop to get for 50 cents because I got rid of all most of my VHS tapes back then. So anyway, the movie, I didn't get the name of the movie until I rented it, and I had already saw it at the theater. And then I bought the VHS tape. And when I finally got a chance to sit down at home and watch it, I realized what was popping off. And I got the title. After that, I got the title because I had, you know, when you see something at the, you know, when you go to the theater, you know, there's so many other things going on beside the movie. You know, I had kids then, you know, we didn't leave our kids with other people. We brought up, if we had babies, we brought them in there. They usually slept through the movie anyway. Okay. So we would take care of kids and we still go see the movie. And if we need to step out and change the diaper, that's what we did. Sometimes the kids would be playing around while we're in the movie, and then we had to take them out. Anyway, I got the gist of the movie and what Clint Eastwood was trying to explain in the movie. And I think a lot of people are under the impression that all the feminists are, who subscribe to this so-called Me Too movement, which to me, the Me Too movement is about as uneventful and effective as the so-called Black Lives Matter movement. And actually, let me say something real quick about the Black Lives Matter movement. First of all, the whole name of it is called Black Lives Matter also. It's not just Black Lives. They shorten it to Black Lives Matter because they're just, you know, marketing wise, that just made more sense, which I get. But it's actually Black Lives Matter also, because what they were trying to convey was Black Lives Matter also, you know, as all lives matter, Caucasian, Latino, Asian, Native American, whatever. All lives matter, but specifically, we're saying Black Lives Matter also because it seems to me, or seems to us, that Black lives do not matter. So unfortunately, we got to bring this to your attention. So that's what that was about. So in case somebody didn't know, in case we have some Caucasian or some Hispanic people watching it, don't know any better. That was the point. That was the original name of the movement, but they just cut the also part off because it just didn't sound right, which I get. Anyway, we have to have, I think black people, you know, we kind of like, although you got some feminists, I know Karen Hunter, the snake, on Sirius XM 126, she always got her little half-a-cent opinion about everything, and you know, her abhorrently unattractive cousin Sil, they always got their, you know, them two, that, you know, cousin Sil has the nerve to call herself a feminist. If you see what she looks like, you see why she calls herself a feminist. Anyway, you know, Karen Hunter was on here on. Was it yesterday or today? I'm thinking today. No, it had to be yesterday because I didn't hear her on the radio today because I got a late start to the athletic club, and I turned to something else. I turned to the doctor channel, the MD channel, because sometimes they'll be on there talking about medical issues as well as psychiatry. So I usually tune in to that channel because of the mental health aspect, because when they have a show about mental health, talking about psychiatry, it's really interesting. So I was watching that channel. So I was like, I didn't listen. I wasn't gonna listen to Clay Kane, and I wasn't gonna listen to her. Because one thing I noticed about these LGBT black men, especially some of these mixed black men, or these so-called, well, I'm biracial black men, a lot of them, they identify with Caucasian women. Okay, you look at the Dolezal effect on Netflix. You got a black dude up there talking about he see himself as a Caucasian woman. So these that's why I'm gonna do a show about LGBT, and I'm probably gonna get flagged for it on Facebook. I don't really care because they flagged my other Facebook channel and fixed it to where I can't do Facebook Live. So that's okay. But I'm gonna do a show about LGBT, and I'm gonna go in on them because a lot of these LGBT folks, they don't see themselves as black. They see themselves, they think they are a step above us. They think they in with white zaddy and white mommy. And that's not the case. That they don't understand power. And listening to black women, see, and black folks, the black people's impression of power is the show power. With my frat brother, what's his name? I'll remember his name. Omari Hardwick, yeah, University of Georgia. Forgot what chapter he came out of, but he's my frat brother too. And they think their idea of power is the show power, to show you, especially a lot of black women. That's their idea of power. Ooh, he powerful. They think a dope boy is power. Y'all see where I'm going with this? That's why the black community looked the way it looked. The black well, we ain't got communities, we got neighborhoods. That's why the black neighborhoods look the way they look, because of that kind of ignorance. You digs? And so if you listen to Karen Hunter today or yesterday, you definitely hear that this woman doesn't understand how power works. She's talking about, oh, we gotta make sure that black folks get out to vote next month for the midterms, because we gotta flip the house and make it blue. Black folks talk that nonsense every year, talking about turning Congress blue. There's been times when both sides of Congress was run by the Democrats and black folks still got nothing. Okay, maybe expanded Section 8, maybe expanded Medicaid or WIC benefits or welfare benefits, but that's about, and SNAP benefits, but that's about it. Because Obama expanded the SNAP program, and a whole bunch of folks got on food stamps. Okay, whoop-de-doo. If you're into that, whoop-de-doo. But absolute power absolute. People don't, some black people do not understand what power is. Some people do not understand what power is. And power is something that if you are not exposed to individuals outside of your community, then you unfortunately have a skewed vision of what power really is. Okay. And got my nonprofit, I got my nonprofit t-shirt on. tomorrow, we're going to do the donation thing. If you donate at least $50, I'll send you one of these t-shirts. They fit pretty good. I actually washed it, and it still fits pretty good. So I was glad to see that, but I did wash it without bleach. So because one of my listeners on the show, he said, hey, Ice, how much bleach you be putting in your water? I said, yeah, I'm kind of a bleach king. He said, yeah, don't put that much bleach in there with them whites, because it tear them clothes up. And I noticed, and he was right, because I would put bleach in there, and the clothes, even though I put a lot of fabric softener in there, the clothes will still be kind of hard and brittle. And I was like, you know, he told me right. So I've been cutting back on. Sometimes I don't even use bleach. And if I do use it, I just use a cap full, and then I use that sanitizer in there. I'll put that sanitizer in the water. That's clean. That does enough cleaning. Anyway, Black people in 400, almost 500 years, we still do not understand what power is. We definitely don't understand what absolute power is. And that's a problem. That's a huge problem in Black America. We don't understand how power works. And unfortunately, we always end up on the short end of the stick as it relates to what power really is. And I'm going to get into that briefly tonight. We're not going to, like I said, we're not going to be on too long tonight. And it's kind of late, and most of you guys are back east or in other countries. So it's probably 11, almost 12 o'clock midnight. I was going to get on a couple hours earlier, but I had a date with them wings. You know, I had to get my wing fix in today. All right. I got me some new peanut oil. By the way, I don't know if y'all fry y'all chicken in peanut oil. I fry mine. I get these big box $30 boxes of peanut oil, and peanut oil is a cleaner oil. I either use that or vegetable oil. But since they sell peanut oil over at this Walmart over here in Portland, I drive across the border and go get it since I ain't got to pay no tax. And then I bring it. I might get up early and go shopping and go get some more, because I just emptied a thing. Let me show y'all real quick before we get back into the store, because I know a lot of brothers be asking me what I cook with. Yeah, can y'all see it? Can y'all see it? Yeah, this big. This like it come out of here like that. So I usually get about 3 vats of this. I could probably get about 3 in there. So this is 3 gallons. So I use this. Saves me a lot of money because the smaller containers cost more. But I get that for $29, $29.90 something. Yeah, that's pretty good right there. Let me light these candles, man. Get them set in the mood. Yes, eggs. Players and players. Yes, sir. So we're back in the house, but we don't have an understanding of power, how power works, and how power is distributed. Okay, and that's a problem. Black people, that's a problem. Seriously. You need to know how power works in this country, because to listen to Karen Hunter and the sycophants that's on her show, the way they were sitting there talking about voting and they're purging us from the voting rolls. Who cares? Who cares? It doesn't matter who's in office. They could be a Democrat. It could be a Republican. It could be a black person. And you're still going to end up with nothing, because they don't look. Elections are just like popularity contests, just like in junior high. When I was in junior high and high school, yeah, student body president and all that. I never signed up to be in none of that junk, because I didn't want my face all over everything. I didn't want to be everybody's friend. And whether you're at a black school or a white school, I just didn't want to be bothered with that junk, because they got to go to, they got to come to school early. They got to do extra stuff at school. I was like, man, I don't want to be bothered with any of that. I wanted to play sports, talk to girls, and go home. That's all I wanted to go to school for. I was popular because I played sports and I was a decent looking guy. I had a big afro in high school. So I had all kind of honeys trying to holler. Anyway, clearly black women do not understand what absolute power is. And all of these women thought all the yelling and people yelling at senators and elevators and all this kind of nonsense they were doing, they really thought that was going to stop Kavanaugh from being confirmed. No, ladies and gentlemen, I guess maybe I need to talk to the ladies first. I need to talk to black women, because you need to understand how power works. Power works to keep. There's a component of power. You have power, that's the umbrella over us. Person holding the umbrella has all the power. Caucasian men and women. Got to be somebody to manage power. That's the managerial class. That's your CEOs of the companies, executive boards, those folks. Okay? And in government, that's Congress and your state legislatures. Okay? That's the managerial class. And then at the bottom is us. Okay? You have to understand that. I'm going to get into that in the Game of Life according to the Iceman Volume 2. I laid the framework for in Volume 1. But when I write Volume 2, you're going to get the full bootin' ass. You're going to get the full bootin' ass. Okay. That's going to be my most comprehensive book on American society and how we all, are within it. But we do not understand power. And again, I'm going to say this again. I know people are going to laugh, but most black folks think power is the show with my frat brother, Omari Hardwick. They think that's a powerful brother. That's not a powerful brother. If you want to see power, look at that dude that's sitting there trying to get confirmed as a Supreme Court judge. And you best believe he is going to have some get back for all of those women that took a crap on him during this process. Because power rewards friends. Power punishes enemies. That's the two things that happen when it comes to power. That's why when a woman who's ambitious and she's trying to get somewhere in life, in business and or in government as an elected official, when she gets in there, what does she do? She reward. Hold on for a second. I know they ain't just. What the hell? Oh my God. Something happened here on Facebook. You guys bear with me on YouTube. I don't know what's going on. These platforms have not been stable. For some reason, I don't know why. But anyway, as I was saying before, Facebook Live went off. I don't know what happened with that. Let me make sure they're good and make sure they're up and running here before I go back into back into the broadcast here because I want to make sure they're straight. Some of these folks are not, don't necessarily know, may not have seen my show before, so they may not know what's going on. So hey, let me put on some music till we get set up. So a lack of understanding of how power works is why you hear conversations about, you know, us being purged on the voting rolls, us being purged on the voting rolls, little shady things going on with people putting negative attack ads on here on certain candidates. That all that stuff, it ought to let you know that it's a waste of time. Look, let me explain something to you. Voting is not power. It's not. Voting for somebody, an election is nothing more than a very sophisticated popularity contest. That's all it is. And your needs and your black people's needs never get considered. When they talk about helping you directly, it turns into, well, we're not going to do anything directly for black people, black Americans. But what we are going to do, for people of color, we're going to make sure that you all get this, that, and the other. And that doesn't work because we all have different needs. Black people have an extraordinary existence in America. We've had an extraordinary existence, and you can't put me in the same boat with somebody else. You understand what I'm saying? You can't sit up here and say to me that my needs are the same as somebody that's Mexican American. That doesn't work. My needs are separate and different. And then also I have additional needs, being that I'm a combat veteran. So I have, medical and mental health needs that supersede my needs as just a regular American, as a regular citizen. You digs? So all of those things included, you can't have a one-size-fits-all approach to dealing with everybody's race group. That's why I stopped calling myself a minority, because there's nothing minor about black people. I stopped calling myself a minority, and I'm not a person of color. Again, there is no coalition out here. There's no Latino black coalition. There's no other race. There's no Asian and black coalition. It's everybody against you. That's what we got. It's just us. It's just us, brothers. CMB, we all we got. You dig? We all we got. Make sure you get my book, The Game of Life According to the Iceman, Volume 1. We got a lot of information here about, you know, supremacy and all that good stuff. We got a lot of that in here. Got stuff in here about dating as well. So get my book, The Game of Life According to the Iceman, Volume 1. You can get it at Amazon.com, and you can also go to www.asktheiceman.com and get this paperback. If you buy it straight from me, I will sign it and send it to you. Okay, so get my new book, The Game of Life According to the Iceman, Volume 1. My next book, The Dating Bible, I'm writing that right now. And the Dating Bible is going to be the authority on dating. You heard? It's coming. I'm working on it. Did some writing earlier today, and I'm gonna do some more tomorrow. So that's what's popping. Yeah, digs. All right. Hope we can get some of those same folks that was in the house earlier. Hope we can get some of those folks back, because we definitely want to get them gamed up. So if you can, come on back, and we will definitely welcome you back, and you know, and hopefully we can reconvene and get you guys back and get you guys in the mix. You digs? But anyway, get my book, The Game of Life According to the Iceman, Volume 1. Also writing some new songs for the CD I'm gonna put out next year. Also, songs from the struggle mansion, because I don't live in a mansion, y'all. I live in a struggle mansion. Yeah, digs. So that's what we doing. That's what we working on. Anyway, going back to the topic, absolute power, and what power is, and how power is distributed in this country, and how real power works in this country. Now, we had these so-called Me Too movement folks run their mouths, and they've been running around here. They've been all over CNN. They've been all over Fox News, all over MSNBC, talking crazy, talking about, oh, they gonna, you know, oh, he ain't gonna get confirmed. And Senator Flake said if he lied, he's done. Ladies, especially, let me speak to the black women real quick. See, if you didn't learn, hopefully you learned today that absolute power is what that looks like. Absolute power is what you just witnessed today, or I guess yesterday, they did the procedural vote. Because really, if they do the procedural vote to see how people gonna vote, because some people won't vote, but a certain amount of people, I know the committee has to vote. You have to understand how to keep the white status quo in power. That's what this is about. And after all that's said and done, feminism gets trumped by Caucasian supremacy. Okay? 53% of Caucasian women voted for Trump. What does that say? That means they're voting whiteness or Caucasianness over their gender nonsense. So it's always the system of supremacy, and that supremacy over the other races to dominate them. That system comes first. That system is the system we cultivate. That is what comes first, and that's pretty much the standard of where they're going to go. That's just it. That's the standard. This man got confirmed after he sat up there and acted a fool and stressing his displeasure with what was going on with your boy, because they thought for sure they were going to knock him out the box. And as they shown, they weren't going to do that. They weren't going to do that. They weren't going to do that. Because power, real power, is exercised, and those systems stay in place regardless of whether there's a right or wrong outcome. It's just like people say about Southerners in the South voting Republican all the time against their own interests. They're voting, their supremacy over their economic needs. They're willing to do that. They're willing to do that. Because to them, whiteness is currency, social currency. A social currency we don't have. They have white privilege and white currency they can cash in. People found out today what absolute power looks like. This guy's going to get confirmed. And all the rigmarole that was popping off last week, all all these feminists getting on TV talking about, hey man, he ain't gonna get confirmed. It was, people on Karen Hunter's show talking about, Oh, he ain't gonna get confirmed. Oh, they ain't gonna confirm him. They ain't dealing with him. Oh, girl, they ain't dealing with him. He think he gonna get confirmed. He ain't getting confirmed. That ain't gonna happen. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. He gonna be your next Supreme Court justice. And guess what? You know what they say about power? Once you get it, you reward your friends and you punish your enemies. So Planned Parenthood, expect to see some cases in, expect to see some cases against Planned Parenthood going through the federal court system. Because they've been trying to shut them down for years. Let me tell you something. I don't care what these feminists are saying about Me Too and all that. That Me Too stuff is a joke. It's a joke. It didn't stop none. Alicia Milano was when Brett Kavanaugh was testifying. She's sitting behind him. I'm like, what is she doing there? She can't even act. Guess she can't act, so she gonna hang around Washington, D.C. and try to calling herself an activist. As you can see, these women are not powerful. Because at the end of the day, when those 53% of Caucasian women voted for Trump, they voted race first. I taught y'all, remember, I did it right after he won. What'd I do? I did that show. I did a show. You got to go back a few. You have to go back a few videos, but I did a show called, white people voted. White women voted their color rather than their gender. You hear me? They voted right. They voted right. That was what they were supposed to do. If they would have done anything else, would have been suspect. But that's what they did, people. And Collins, Susan Collins, the what you would call it, the senator from Maine, she voted yeah. She said, based on what I'm reading that report, she said there is nothing to corroborate that this man is this man is unfit for the bench. Okay? I want him to be confirmed because again, I want him to totally wipe out all the gains that LGBT folks have been given, all the feminist gains they've been given. I want all that stuff to be struck down. So when a case against Planned Parenthood goes before the Supreme Court while he's just getting there, you can best believe he gonna give him some static. See, my money ain't just power. I'm gonna tell what real power is. Real power is to be able to get on the phone, call somebody and say, hey, I got a guy over here. He needs a gig. Guy don't even have the skills. But he said, hey, man, I got a guy over here that needs a gig. Can I send him over? Oh, yeah, sure. You can send him over. And they tell you, they say, well, what did Rod say that I was going to pay you? He said, you're going to pay me $50,000 a year. So, okay, yeah, I can pay that. It's that kind of move, those kind of moves being made by Caucasians every minute. They can call on that social currency. They can get that popping at any time, and we lose. Okay? But absolute power, Mr. Kavanaugh is going to be your next Supreme Court justice. And all the complaining, all the riff-raffing, and all of the beating on their monkey chests that these Me Too folks have been doing, the fact remains, he's still going to get confirmed. Because they was talking about what the process would be if Trump would have to get another guy because this guy didn't cut the mustard. Well, he cut the mustard yesterday through that vote, and now it's already now they getting ready to vote tomorrow. And all these morons out there screaming and hollering and yelling in senators' faces and it was rape. Well, you know what? The energy you're using to yell in his face, why don't you use that energy to take your behind down to the police station and file a report? Since it's that important, because you doing it, screaming in his face is a waste of your time, and it makes you look ridiculous. Use that energy to report his ass. You dig? So we have to, black men, we have to be vigilant, and we have to understand that if there's no other case study about absolute power, it's this one. This one is a total example of absolute power. And you are bearing witness to it right now with this vote going forward. There's nothing, and all Kamala Harris and Cory Booker and all these guys try to act like they're so opposed. Look, it's all a dog and pony show. When it comes to getting that vote, they know they better vote for him. Because if they don't, somebody might get some dirt on them and expose them and embarrass them. That's what they used to do back in the day. They say, oh, we found out you cheating. You better vote yes. That's how they used to do back in the day. Hey, you got a second family on the other side of town. You want that to come out? Well, if you don't want it to come out, you need to pull up. You need to go ahead and vote for my man. Okay, that's how we doing it. And you had to vote for him or you got embarrassed. But absolute power works because it's a power structure that's old as this country, and we know who it's for, and they don't want to share it. So you're looking at how absolute power works on a daily basis. You can be wrong. You can be a fondler. You can fondle women's breasts. You can fondle other body parts on a woman. You can call yourself the Bruise Brothers and drink beer all through high school. I know I drank Hennessy and whiskey, old Fed Cal, and we used to drink Michelob. We steal 6-packs of Michelob from the grocery for the liquor store. We be on the bus with passing around beers. Sure did. We used to get beer after the football games. Be on the bus drinking. I remember one time I got drunk on the bus. I know my dad knew that I had been drinking. He didn't say nothing though. Boy, I had so much fun back then, man. God damn, I had fun. We had fun, boy. It was popping off, man. But yeah, absolute power is it's a system that keeps you in power regardless of what wrong things you've done, what right things you've done, and no matter what your colleagues say, oh, I ain't gonna vote for Kavanaugh. None of that. They ain't listening to none of that. Because at the end of the day, if that's what they want, you have to understand, if that's what they want, the folks that run the system, if that's what they want, you can best believe it's going to pop off. And you're going to be looking at TV and like, I can't believe this. They went through. He did this. He did this. He did this. That don't matter. It's called absolute power. Power absolute. You don't understand how power works in America. If you're a white male and you're part of that elite, he's gonna get a pass. And all of the Democrats that pretend like they are against him, they'll turn around and vote for him. Why? Because power is absolute. Real power is absolute. And if they say that you're going to vote, well, you're going to vote unless you want to have some problems, because you might try to put a measure on the board, put a bill on the table, and your colleagues might say, hey, we ain't paying no attention to this. You didn't help us when we was dealing with Kavanaugh. So they know not to be, they know not to be too aloof and too far away from the action, because, they want to be on the right side of history. They want to be on the right side of history. So they're going to go ahead. They're going to go ahead and vote for him. Oh, whiskey, huh? There's nothing they can do about it. And all the complaining and belly aching, and I ain't been really watching too many of these channels on what they were doing, but I know I hear a bunch of whining from these women, and I'm just like, y'all sound stupid. Y'all sound stupid. Yo, Monster, what's popping? So we have to understand how power works. power is absolute. And the kind of power I'm talking about is power that was established 500 years ago. This is how we're going to do this. And today they want to keep those same they want to keep the pressure on to keep maintaining it, because you and I don't have a vested interest in maintaining it for good reason. You digs? So we have to understand that this absolute power that we're seeing today is a start of things to come. And you have bear witness to something. You know, we had when they had Anita Hill, Clarence Thomas, I was a lot younger. I was in the military then. It was a big deal. I only watched it because he was black, and later found out Anita Hill was black. But this one is far more reaching because we have the internet and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. But they had Anita Hill testify what was happening, and it wasn't this much fervor. But they jumping all over this dude, and it's a waste of time. He will be on the Supreme Court, and I want to see what he's going to do to Roe v. Wade. Now, somebody left me a message on after one of the videos talking about, well, if they get rid of Roe v. Wade, then the states will pass their own abortion bills. Yeah, but their bills are very limited. Roe v. Wade, there's a reason why they passed Roe v. Wade at the Supreme Court level. It's because it gives them, they are allowed to do all types of abortions. Whereas with the state, if the federal government says no, like say if they repeal Roe v. Wade, what happens is the states can still technically do what they want, but still most states are going to some of these states have restrictions on when you can get an abortion. Like they'll be like, well, you can't get an abortion if it's past 3 months. You know, they'll have stipulations like that. And if you remember back in the day before Roe v. Wade, there was a lot of mess going on. People was doing, giving what do you call it? Abortions in alleys and shit with a coat hanger. Okay. That's just how they do it. And it just took it out of the back alley and into a clinic where you can be in there with a doctor. But there's a reason why they don't want Roe v. Wade overturned, because it makes it illegal to have an abortion anywhere in any state. But again, just like with marijuana, states can pass their own rules. But again, there are some rules that are governed by the federal government that they can't do, which is why, and you have to understand, but it's a mess if every state has their own determining of what you can do there's no uniformity. The Roe v. Wade made uniformity for all the states. But if you get rid of Roe v. Wade, there will be no uniformity among states. States will be doing what they want to do. You understand me? And if that's the case, some states are going to make it more difficult than others to do it in their state. And then you're going to have people trying to run around the state to try to run around the United States, trying to find a state that can do the type of abortions that they want. So that's what this is really about. That's what they mad about. Cool. Appreciate it, Monstar. Not really taking any donations tonight, unless you want to. If you want to donate tonight so you don't have to donate tomorrow, that's fine. But we're going to do the $10 donation for tomorrow. We're going to start back. You go for the Player Circle show. I'm doing a new show called the Player Circle. It's going to be a show. We're going to chop it up. All the ladies and men, all the Macs and Macettes, all the players and playettes. We're going to talk about, it's going to be a light show. We're going to talk about sex, relationships, cash, how cash moves everything around us. We're going to talk about dating. We're going to talk about all that stuff. We're going to do it in a more lighthearted kind of forum here. So ladies, you are invited. Join us in the chat room. We're going to do a simulcast with Facebook Live. No, Facebook Live got cut off earlier and I had to restart it. So I don't see just as many people on there as it was earlier, because some folks might have something to do. So that's one of the reasons why we're not going to go too long tonight, because I want to make sure I get time to talk about the Players Circle for tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific time. Now, remember the Players Circle podcast tomorrow on the Iceman Show. It's going to be right here, Facebook Live at 2 p.m. Pacific. So if you live back east or you live in another part of the country or another part of the world, plan accordingly. It's going to start 2 o'clock on the dot. All right. So make sure you in the place to be. Okay. If I have to move if I have to move the show back, I'll probably move it back to 3. Matter of fact, I probably will do that. I'm going to move it back to 3. Yeah. Let me do that. Yeah, let me move that back to 3. I better make it 3 because something I got popping tomorrow isn't going to start until 3. So let me just do that. So we'll start at 3 p.m. Pacific time. That work for everybody? Cool. All right. We'll make sure everybody be in the house. Anyway, this guy's going to get elected. I mean, he's going to get chosen. He's going to be your new Supreme Court justice. And it ain't nothing you can do about it, feminists. All you feminists out here talking about, all we got to do is stick together. They planning another rally in January. And they planning another one of these women marches. They gonna go out there and freeze to death. I would go out there because it's gonna be a bunch of honeys out there. And the only problem is it's gonna be cold, and it's gonna be a bunch of unattractive feminists there. There won't be too many good-looking women. Okay. So I'm sitting there like, I should drive down, get me a hotel and try to see if I could be in the mix. I might go down there and grab me a microphone and start interviewing people. I might just go ahead and buy a camera and start interviewing people, because I just want to get a sense of what these people are talking about. And even if it's stupid, I want to get an idea of what they're talking about so I can upload it to the show. So So that's what's up. Y'all dig it? That's what's popping. I can't do nothing about it because it is what it is. But absolute power is what you see today with Trump. Trump represents absolute power. You could say he's not a very smart person. You could say you don't like his hair, but according to the people who voted him in, power absolute. The power to be able to get your boy in there, even if he ain't the right person to put in there. Because the way they're treating this guy, they're treating him like, well, you got some problems, but I can't see you as a Supreme Court justice. See, I look past all that because they want somebody. If they want somebody, okay, we have to understand where we stand. And the only way to break absolute power is to take their money, their access to money out of it. What I call economic diversion. We have to divert money back to the Black neighborhood so we can start building communities. And if we don't do that, you're going to continue to have Black neighborhoods, but no Black communities. That's just the way it works, ladies and gentlemen. That's the way it works. Absolute power for a troubled, embattled president to be able to get his boy nominated and confirmed with all this cloud of suspicion that he did this and he did that, or he didn't do it. None of that means anything when it comes to absolute power. It's power, absolutely. And I knew they were going to get him in there. I wasn't. You notice when you were hearing me on these shows while I'm talking about the Supreme Court nominee, Brett Kavanaugh, I told you, I said, hey, they're going to get his boy in there. It's going to ouch. It's going to hurt a little bit. They're going to give it a dog and pony show. Or they're going to give it a dog and pony show. But that's about it. They're going to give it a dog and pony show. And he's going to get his boy in there. They're going to get his boy in there. He's going to get his boy in there. Because it's going to be too much trouble not putting him in there. They got to go get another one. Now, people keep bringing out, well, they didn't get, they didn't give Clarence Thomas. So they did the same thing to Clarence Thomas. They sat up there. He was getting all pissed off. He said, hey, man, this is high-tech lynching. They gave him hell, but he still got in there. He still got in there. That's absolute power. I remember a job I was trying to get. One guy didn't like me, but the head guy liked me. And because the head guy liked me, I got the job. But it had been left up to that other dude, I wouldn't have got the job. Y'all see how that works? That's absolute power. I remember one time I moved to Twin Cities from somewhere else. And the white girl that was a Ramsey County sheriff, she was a, what was she? She was a reserve officer. She had another job during the day, but she knew a lot of people. And she said, "You need a job, right?" I said, "Yeah." She said, let me get your information." She said, "Mail me your resume." And then she said, "I'll have you a job in a couple of days." Sure enough, by the time I got up there, man, I had a gig. I did a phone interview, and I just went from there. Sure was. That shit was crazy. So, and Caucasian people understand power. They understand power. It's that we don't understand power. We think power is, going to church, where you get absolutely no power. You're praying to a God that doesn't exist. You're praying to a son that doesn't exist, that's supposed to be going to fix your broken life. And, you got black folks that say, "Hey, we need to go, we need to pray. That's going to make it all right." And we look around, we elect black and white politicians to do our bidding, and we look around, them people, they're like, "Black who? Black constituents? Who are they? I don't who these people over here voted for me. They did? Well, good for them." You understand? Black people are politically naive, socially naive, and economically naive. Black people think, well, if I go in here and I just do this, I keep a straight face, or I smile the whole time, these people love us. They'll love me. They'll treat me with respect. No, they won't. You'll still walk out of there with nothing. You'll still walk out of there with nothing. Power centered around economics, not elections, not voting, not consumer. There's no such thing called consumer power. There is such thing as redirecting economics. And you can do that this Christmas season. I see the what do you call it? The Halloween stores selling Halloween outfits already. They're gearing up for that. I don't celebrate Halloween, so I have no need to buy anything. No pumpkins and none of that. Candy, I ain't gonna give nobody no candy. If I'm gonna give you anything, I'm gonna give you a word of advice. Instead of giving you some candy to rot your head out. Man, I just went to the whatchamacallit, man. Went to the dentist. Man, they had to do so much drilling in my mouth. Still got to go back over there and have them drill me in my mouth. Then they got to give me this implant for this gap I got in my mouth. Shit, that's about $8,000 right there. But they ain't gonna do that next time. They just gonna give me they're gonna finish cleaning out these cavities, and then they're gonna give me, give me a teeth whitening, and then turn around and do my implant. He said he's going to do my thing for my implant. So the next time I'll see him, he'll be able to put that implant in, because I really need that thing in my mouth, because I got a missing tooth back there. But a lot of my molars got cavities. I didn't start getting cavities till I was like 40 years old. I never had cavities when I was young. Never. All of a sudden I get old, I'm having cavities and shit. I'm like, damn. But anyway, that's what's happening today with Justice Kavanaugh being confirmed. Trump got his boy in there. It wasn't gonna be no problems, people. Wasn't gonna be no problems getting him in there. And if you thought that there was gonna be, you know, that these women were gonna whine and stomp and roll around the ground, stomp their feet and talk crazy, and they were going to get that popping for themselves. Nah, bruh. Nah. It's not gonna happen. Trump got his boy in there, case closed. He will be the next Supreme Court justice, and he's gonna be ultra conservative, and he's gonna knock down Roe v. Wade. He's gonna knock down gay marriage. He's gonna get in there and wreck shop, and all the people that took a crap on him while he was doing this confirmation progress, they're gonna see some problems too. They're gonna get got. Believe me. Hey, y'all make sure y'all get my book, The Game of Life According to the Iceman, Volume 1. You can get it either on Amazon, or you can get it at my website, AskTheIceman.com. So get my book, The Game of Life According to the Iceman, Volume 1. Now, the dating book, the Bible that the book that I'm writing now, the dating chapters are later on in this book. So I'm just picking up where this book leaves off. So get my book, get it at Amazon.com, or you can get it at AskTheIceman.com. Remember, tomorrow we have the show, the Players Circle. It's going to be the first episode of the Players Circle. We're going to talk about sex in the Black community. We're going to talk about sex and relationships. We're going to chop it up. It's going to be a fun show. It's going to be a lighthearted show, and we're going to be deep in the chat room. So there's going to be a lot of stuff for you guys to type up in the chat room. Make sure you're around for 2 p.m. tomorrow. Remember, 2 p.m. tomorrow, Pacific time. Pacific. I'm on the left coast. So if you on the East Coast, which a lot of you guys are, remember, if it's Eastern time, you're 3 hours ahead. If it's Central time, you're 2 hours ahead. Make sure you'll have your face in the place. Okay, Players Circle, the Iceman Show podcast. Players Circle. That's what we're doing tomorrow. All right, the Players Circle. So remember that tomorrow, 2 o'clock. And make sure you, like I said, you got your face in the place. Sex and the Black experience. That's the topic tomorrow. And it's going to be YouTube, people. It's going to be right here. Remember that. It's going to be right here on the Mad Voodoo Man channel. Those of you who are on Facebook, if you don't want to switch over to Facebook, if you want to be on the YouTube side, just go to Mad Voodoo Man channel and subscribe. Okay, that's my Facebook people. But remember, Facebook, you guys got the info too. Let me post that up in here. Players Circle podcast. 2 p.m. Pacific time. Remember that. So act accordingly. I know football's going to be on, but ain't that many good college football games on tomorrow. So we went back to Saturday rather than doing Sunday. So yeah, so we're going to go ahead and do that. All right. So that's what's popping off. Again, you know, get my book, my new book, The Game of Life According to the Iceman, Volume 1. This is my first book. And I'm working on my new book called The Dating Bible. Hopefully that will be done by the end of this year. No, this is already October. It'll be done probably by March or April. Because I'm working on it almost every day now. So yeah, I done got off my ass and started working on it. If you want one of these t-shirts from my nonprofit, tomorrow, remember tomorrow's donating. Tomorrow is $10 Saturday. All right. Let's not act brand new. Let's stop acting brand new. Come on, $10. Okay. I have a nonprofit. So if you want to check my nonprofit out, go on IRS Gov and where it says search charities, and you'll find mine. All right. I'm not a hustler. I'm a real businessman. So $10 donations tomorrow. Remember that. Now, remember, those of you who, you know, I'm going to have to do this type of format. If you, tomorrow, this is starting tomorrow with the Player Circle. If people are not donating $10, guess what's going to happen? We're going to shut the show down like we did last week. I don't want to have to do that. So have your money. All right. Let's not be bullshitting. Because a lot of cats be playing. All right. Let's have it done tomorrow. We don't need no nonsense now. I'm gonna make sure we know what's going on. That's all my information right there. Join me, follow me on Twitter, The Iceman Show at Mr. Freeze. Join me on Instagram, The Iceman Show. And if you want to listen to our old shows, go to Blog Talk Radio. We put that link down here. blogtalkradio.com/The Iceman Show. We might go back on Blog Talk Radio in the next couple weeks. But you can go and listen to all my old shows on Blog Talk Radio/The Iceman Show. Go check that out. But remember, tomorrow, Players Circle, the Players Circle podcast on The Iceman Show tomorrow. Remember that. And it starts at 2 p.m. Central Time. Pacific Time, 2 p.m. YouTube, I expect more out of you than last week. Make sure you have your pen and pencils ready. Be ready to donate your $10. If we are not, if I get 1 or 2 people donating or nobody donating, guess what's going to happen? I'm shutting the show down like I did last week. Yeah, I got that weird presidential text. What was that for, B the Great B? What did he do that for? Was he just messing with people? Because I was wondering what that was. Because I looked at my phone, looked at both of my phones, and it said presidential tweet. Text. I was like, what is this? Is there an emergency? I thought it was some kind of emergency out. Apparently it wasn't. I guess he just want to let everybody know. I guess they running some type of, running some type of test or something, man. Whatever it is, it was kind of spooky. I was like, man, what is this? But anyway, y'all be in the house tomorrow. Remember, don't forget, be in the house tomorrow at 3 p.m. It's 3 p.m. I'm sorry, people. It's 3 p.m. It's 3 p.m. Pacific time. I'm sorry. It's 3 p.m. I'm sorry. Gotta get my facts straight. All right, ladies and gents. But yeah, the player circle. We're gonna talk about sex, relationships. We're gonna chop it up with the ladies. Ladies, you are highly encouraged to join. We're gonna do the chat room thing. So just be ready, ladies and gentlemen. All right. We're gonna do the player circle tomorrow, starting tomorrow, our first podcast. Let's get it popping. You guys got any questions? Look at my Facebook page. All right.